Hello everyone, and welcome to Find Love. Where we empower singles and married couples to enjoy their dream marriages. For those who have joined us, please let us know in the chat where you are watching from. You can indicate you can tell us your name. Just indicate your name and where you are watching from, so that we can greet you and welcome you properly. Okay, and please go ahead also and share the stream with your family, share with your friends, share it on your social media, social media handles, so that others can benefit from what we'll be discussing here today. Okay, so it's going to be really interesting. So it's a very interesting topic that we have planned tonight. All right. Okay, so the topic is: should physical attraction matter when choosing a spouse? Should physical attraction matter when choosing a spouse? Okay, so that is a hot topic that we have for tonight, and I'm pretty sure that you have some thoughts. You have some thoughts about the subject. So feel free to let us know, like, what you think in the chat, and also if you have any questions, we'll be ready to answer your questions. Feel free to drop them as well in the chat, and also don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new here, right? So a lot of people tend to falter on this aspect when it comes to choosing a spouse, and which often results in broken marriages. Okay, and so today we'll be really focusing on this aspect of attraction. Okay, and it's not really a straightforward. The answer to this question is not straightforward. Okay, should we be focusing on someone's physique or their inner being? Okay, some people are for the school of thought that you should marry someone's character, while others believe that attraction needs to be there, for the relationship or marriage to really be successful. Okay, so the question is: do looks really matter? Do looks really matter that much, or should we be focusing on something else entirely? All right, and thankfully, we shall be answering key questions about this tonight. Okay. And for that, we have two amazing guests with us. Okay, they are both married, and we shall learn from their experience about how important physical attraction really is when it comes to marriage. Okay, so our first guest is a charismatic finance officer who also happens to be a certified marriage and relationship counselor from the Marriage and Family Affairs in the US. And she has been married for 10 years. So that's quite a lot of experience that we are going to learn from. And her name is Mrs. Silvia Ndimeh. Welcome, Mrs. Silvia. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for taking our time, and it's an honor to have you with us. And then our second guest is a multi-talented man. Okay, he's a software engineer, entrepreneur, photographer, visual artist, and so much more. And he too has been married for 3 years now. Again, that's some good experience for us to learn from. And he's popularly known as the Afro Dreamer, and you will see why in just a second, why he's known that way. And so his name is Mr. Nobel Mbougue. Mr. Nobel, welcome to our platform. We are honored to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, so we have really interesting guests here with us, and then of course you have myself. I'm Nelson Achelengwa. I'm a software engineer, author, and certified relationship coach, accredited by the International Association of Professions Career College in the US. Okay, so we have quite an incredible knowledge and experience here tonight. Okay, so back to our question. Okay, should physical attraction matter when choosing a spouse? Again, please do drop any questions you have in the live chat, and we will answer them. And as usual, don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe if you are new here. All right, so let's do this. Okay, So Nobel, I mean, we often hear these days about how men prefer women to look good natural. Like, so, what in your opinion is natural beauty? Like, what does that really mean? What is natural beauty?
Okay. Well, thank you for that question. Natural beauty. Okay, first of all, naturally, there is a way that most people understand natural beauty, and from my observation, what most people understand by natural beauty just has to do with uh, using, or let me say, using less extra stuff on you, like less makeup, like less uh, hair, less lashes, like just using less stuff. So the fewer the things that you are adding on you, the more you are what most people consider as natural. Um, so yeah, that's what most people consider. Now, it's also good to point out the fact that that notion is not is a little bit biased by some people, in the sense that um, to some people, like it varies from person to person, and because it varies from person to person, it's not it becomes a topic that you cannot even hold on to, because there is no metric to delimit how much of extra stuff you put on you becomes unnatural beauty. Like for example, for somebody, natural beauty might just mean no wig, no mesh, just your natural hair. For another person, natural beauty might mean that, okay, you take care of your hair in a nappy style, but for that person, you are still putting products on your hair. Okay, so those products, are they really natural products? So if we have to get into like the nitty gritty, like we have to really go down a rabbit hole, we realize that that natural beauty concept is a concept that is difficult to hold on to, because everybody is making up his own definition of natural beauty, and it becomes hard to follow up. Me, for my own case, I don't have it as a requirement for a lady. I think a lady should do what she think is the best, in the sense that I don't have any problem with a lady who puts on a wig. I don't have any problem with the lady who uses mesh, puts on makeup, lashes. I really don't have any problem with that. It's also just very important for you as a lady to research, okay, what I am doing right now, are there any implications? Like if I'm relaxing my hair, how often am I doing that? Is it even necessary? What are the implications? Why am I doing that? It's good as a lady to question all those things, and to not just go by what society is telling you. But after questioning all those things, you still realize that, okay, well, I think after questioning all that, I think I can put on weight, like, and you are bold about putting that, then fine. Like I really personally do not find any issue or have that as a requirement. So thanks.
Wow, interesting. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for sharing that view on natural beauty. And coming to you, Sylvia. Okay, you've been married for 10 years. So let's go back to when you first met your husband. I'm assuming that he's the one who approached you. So how was that experience? Like, what immediately drew you to him?
Um, Probably it had nothing to do with physical attraction. Maybe yes, because he is still the tall, dark, and handsome, but that was not what actually made me to decide to get into the relationship with him. So it was all about like perspective. What are you up to? What is he doing? Can we have a life together and all that kind of thing? It's more or less that which made me decide to commit, if I'm to say that, but really not physical attraction, as you would say, as the topic of today has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And what about you, Nobel? You've also been married for 3 years now, and we know that men generally do the pursuing. So when you met your wife Whitney, I happen to know your wife as well, for the first time, what made you to want to pursue her? Please, can you share your experience?
Yeah. So yeah, I would say when I met her, uh, you know, what marked me the most, I would say it was how can I say, uh, it was her communication. Okay, she was very direct. So the setting in which we met, I was offering I was facilitating a training, and she was a participant. Actually, it was a graphics design training. So you can imagine, I was giving I was facilitating the training, teaching people how to do stuff with Photoshop and stuff. And then at the end, I had to, give my business card to everybody in the hall. And it was fun how, you know, she told me that for someone who is training graphic design, my business card doesn't really look as nice as what it's supposed to look like, because at the training, people were impressed by what they learned. So she surely expected, okay, based on all what we have learned today, this business card is supposed to look nicer than this. So she thought that it didn't really sell me very well. And the fact that she told that to me, I was smart. I was like, wow, okay, wow, because I at that time I tend to be the opposite. I tend to be the person who will not say things, who try to we usually say sugarcoat things. So for me, that was like meeting an opposite. And as we know in physics, opposite charges attract. So that the fact that we had different ways of communication, it caused curiosity in me. And I think that is that curiosity that eventually led to what it led to. So yeah, that was the first thing that actually marked me, actually.
Curiosity. Okay. Wow. As they say, curiosity. They always say that curiosity killed the cat, but in your case, obviously you survived. So yeah, I guess that was good. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So there's this popular saying that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. That's for instance, if person A finds person B attractive, it doesn't mean that person C will find person B attractive too. So, like, what are your thoughts on that, Sylvia? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's to a reasonable degree it's true. Like beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and none. What is beauty? And maybe beauty in this case is just physical beauty, because different people might be everybody is beautiful, but then you might find me beautiful, another person might still find me beautiful, but then this person might be attracted to me and that other person is not attracted to me. It doesn't mean that I am not beautiful. So it just all depends on the individual's definition of beauty, what you see as beauty in an individual. But I'm of the idea that everybody is beautiful, but individuals now choose what they see as beautiful. Is it my hair? Are they my eyes? Is it my shape? That kind of thing. So it varies, it's true, from person to person, but it doesn't mean that one person is not beautiful or another person is not beautiful.
Interesting. Okay, so from what you are saying, you are saying essentially that beauty is you agree with the statement that beauty is
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
okay. Wow, that's good to know. Okay, and similar to the previous thought. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, people often say there's this common phrase that people often make, like that he or she is not my type. Okay, and this is usually used as a reason to friend zone people, especially by
Yeah.
women. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, we believe that we believe that we have a type of person that we're attracted to. So my question again to you, Sylvia, is can we be attracted to anybody? Like can we be attracted to anybody?
Yes, we can be attracted to anybody, but we are not supposed to be attracted to everybody. And I will say that again, it still boils down to perspective because based on the topic we have, should physical attraction matter? Yes, it matters, but then it should not be the only thing. That's what I'm saying, or that is my own thought about it. It should not be
Okay.
the only thing. Yes.
All right. Okay. Interesting. We are going to get to like we are really
Uh-huh.
going to dig into that as we continue. Okay. And okay. So like still related to that, I would like Brother Nobel Nobel to comment on this. Is there such a thing as a type of person like that we are attracted to by nature? That is, are we born with certain desires that of what we are really attracted to? Well, like what do you think about that?
Absolutely, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are not born with a specific type of. Well, that's my opinion. It's what I have. It's difficult to have something to back that up unless my observation. And maybe if I could dig into that deeply and look into some research that could have been done that could relate to that. But what I think right now is that nobody is born with a specific type of person that will only be attracted to this person. I think so I took a psychology course, and they were teaching us about the fact that like your psyche is made up of 50% of nature and 50% of nurture. So 50% of nature has to do with the things that you were born with, and 50% of nurture has to do with the things that you develop as you grew up. So yeah, so if you grew up, in an environment where most of the time you see men liking a specific type of women, it will affect your judgment when you grow up to 50%. Okay, so 50% is a big deal because if you're already at a certain level, that 50% will just can easily push you to 100. So 50% is a very big deal. So I think that it's so 50% of the type of woman that you think you're attracted to comes from your experience that you had as you were growing up. So that means that it's not as if you were born with it like that, even though arguments are also made in the psychology community that the other 50% comes with things that you were born with. So that means that arguments are made that some men are born liking a specific type of women, but that only accounts to 50% of their final decision. The other 50% comes from what they develop as they go, and 50% is a very big deal. That's why I don't think that we can all put that on. Okay, you only like one specific type of woman. Also, if you were brought up that way, your experiences, so you had to. That's what you learn as you grow up. Then eventually, that's what you're going to like. But yeah, that's just the short answer I can give to that.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so would you say that your interests, your like the kind of things that you like in women have been influenced by your environment? Is that like what you're saying? Like
Absolutely,
partly
yes,
influenced by the environment. Okay.
yes, absolutely, yes. I have to be consistent in my thoughts. I cannot say something and then I later on say, oh no, I was born to like my wife the way she is. I think I have to be consistent. I think
Okay.
my environment contributed to 50% of the fact that I eventually like my wife. I think it contributed because, it could be just my family, my friends, what I've seen my mom, my sisters, my aunts do. all those things, they have contributed to 50% of cost. So yeah.
Okay, we are going to dig more into that thought as we proceed. All right. Okay. So based on what we discussed so far, okay, coming to the main question, like, should physical attraction matter when choosing a spouse? What are your thoughts? Let's start with Sylvia. What are your thoughts on that? Like in general.
I think it matters from the side of a woman, because I'm talking from my own perspective. It it matters in the sense that physical attraction might make you to want to be to even like start to talk with somebody, but then it's just a very tiny percentage to me, physical attraction, because we are moved by what we hear and not necessarily what we see. Many of us might not see he's handsome, he's this, he has nice eyes, he has this. We listen to what they say and we experience the things they do for us. Oh, he took me to this place, or he bought me this and he bought me that. And based on those things around us, we said, okay, yes, I can marry this person, or I can, yes, this one can be a spouse to me. So it's a very tiny percentage, physical attraction. It can matter. Some people can notice it when someone walks up to you. The physical attraction might make you choose, like, okay, I'll respond to him or I'll not respond to him. Like, if, for example, a short person comes to a tall lady, the first thing is like, I don't want to be involved with a short person. So she might not even get involved with that. But if someone who is already tall or meets just one aspect of what she has in her mind of who she wants the husband to look like, then it's already something. But then that commitment to deciding that this is going to be my spouse, at that point in time, physical attraction is, it to me, is non-existent, because it does not matter, because attraction fades and marriage is forever. So the things that we pull us together now, it's not what is going to sustain a relationship. So yes, at the start, it is okay. We cannot just say no, it does not matter, it's not important. No, I don't think that's the right thing to say. Yes, at the start, but then we should know that attraction fades, because the lady that you see now, maybe by the time she has kids and life weighs down on her, anything can happen. The person I am now is not who I was 10 years ago. So the attraction may be what my husband saw back then. It maybe it doesn't exist now, but different things have sustained us over this period of 10 years. We strive to keep that aspect of attraction. It makes the relationship to thrive, like do what look good and this and do that and all the rest, but it's just a very tiny percentage in the aspect of choosing a spouse for a woman. I don't know, that's my own opinion about it.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so wow, that's very rich. Okay, thanks for sharing all of that. In other words, it matters from what, if I understand you very well, you are saying that it matters in the beginning, but then with time, that's not
Yes.
really what sustains the marriage or the relationship.
Yes.
Okay, how about you, Nobel? Like, what are your thoughts? What do you think on the question, the central question?
Okay. Yeah, I would say I think well, okay, now if you ask me if in modern relationship right now, is physical attraction mattering? I don't know if mattering is a word, in the sense that does physical attraction currently matters in modern relationship? The answer is yes, because a lot of the decisions that have been made in modern relationships, physical attraction is very much at the center. Most especially for men, because you
Yeah,
the man.
visual.
Yeah, you exactly. Yeah, she even said women respond a lot to what they hear, men respond a lot to what they see. So when a man sees, that's what moves him to come. But okay, that's what's happening in modern relationship. But me personally, what I think, I first of all, I am not of the idea that, as a man, as a single man, you walk in the street, you see a beautiful girl, you walk up to her and start talking with her, hoping that you can build a relationship with her. I'm really not for that idea, because it's a very risky thing to do. That's what I think. I think she might be physically beautiful for you. You find her, you're attracted to her, but that's all you know about her. You don't know anything else about her. So when you now maybe get to meet her and talk to her, you're like, okay, he has this personality, this, that maybe might not go with me. So I'm not in anymore. But look at the time that you've invested. Look at all the things that you've put in already so far. Your emotional mind as well. Like that's a lot of investment, and that's why I think it's risky to do that. Now I might be talking in a more utopic kind of way. I think that it's ideal when it starts as a friendship. You guys can not focus on that physical aspect, because I think as Silvia said, for a long term, if I talk about long term commitment, like marriage is forever, lifetime stuff. Like you cannot really rely on that physical attraction as something that's sustainable, because she brought some examples, and life has made it in such a way that women have to go through a lot of things, especially when it comes to like childbirth, but that's just one example. Other things could happen, God forbid, an accident, anything, can happen, and you might not look the way you used to look before. Even as a man, like a man can also have an accident, you might not look the way you used to look. So if that was the thing that was sustaining your marriage, then it's going to be fragile at that point. I think the ideal scenario is when you guys can try to bond at like a friend, just not like bond, but like know each other at the beginning. That's why I was talking about friendship level, because when it's a friendship, there's no like, you're not yet entangled or committed to the person, but you can only be about the person, at least the minimum requirement for you to make your decision whether, okay, this is a good, because usually when you notice, right, if physical, okay, as Silvia said, it matters to a small percentage, right? So, and the reason why it's really a very small percentage is because if it was a very big percentage, then people will not be breaking up with girls they used to see as very beautiful, or girls will not be breaking up with men they used to see as very handsome. But you realize that even though both of them found each other beautiful, when other things, personality, communication, patience, commitment, infidelity, when all those things come in, the physical attraction now reduces to zero, and they will still separate despite the fact that they might even still currently find each other beautiful. Like, it's not as if they will just automatically switch group. Even still be attracted to each other physically, but they will still separate, because that physical attraction now, I cannot, but look at all those other things. When you put on the balance, you are still going to break up with the person. So in conclusion, I would say I think it's not supposed. It's not supposed. I said supposed because now a lot of things come, but it's normally not supposed. Like in my utopic world, it's not supposed to matter when choosing a spouse. That's what I think, because the fact that the other things matter more, and so much more, that you can forego the beautiful spouse you saw because of those other things. No, to me that speaks volumes. It means that it doesn't really matter as much as we think it does.
Okay, interesting. Wow, that was very detailed. Thanks for sharing that. All right, and it seems like we are on the same page that it matters, but then it's not like at the top of the priority list. Okay. So earlier you mentioned that that the things we find desirable, like in terms of attraction, right? The influence like 50% by the environment, in which we find ourselves. So, like, what are some of those outside influences that have those things that have influenced like what we find desirable in a man or a woman? Nobel, like what do you think? What are some of those outside influences?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'll say first thing, our immediate family, our nuclear family, so father, mother. Me personally, it has influenced me in the sense that, like, we take a very practical example, age difference. Okay, a lot of people have preferences on age difference. Some men prefer a girl that's 5 years younger, and a lot of ladies too prefer men who are like 5 years, prefer men who are 5 years older or something like that. That's even the average. The average is usually 5 years. And a lot of them have grew up with families where the father was at least 5 years old, especially as they are talking about. But for me, for example, who has grown up in a family where my dad was just 1 year older than my mom, I saw age from a total different perspective because to me, when looking for a spouse, I was like, I don't necessarily need a 5 year difference. So that's just one example. Another one is movies. The movies that we watch, the type of lady that is portrayed in a movie as the beautiful one, it affects your judgment because that's what you see a lot. I'll say our friends. So yeah, maybe you're in a school where there is this lady that's the star of the school, maybe in your high school, because she was the star of the school, people now might see her as the, how do we call that word? Is it they have that word that they use it?
From Queen.
No, no, no. No, it's like beauty figure. It's something like beauty figure. Yeah, anyway. So those are the things that can really affect your judgment when it comes to that.
Okay, interesting. All right. Okay. I think what one of the things that may have also influenced like the way like what we find desirable is the media, right? Yeah, the media has also largely influenced that. But then the question I ask myself is like, how did all of that start? Okay, because I mean there are diverse body types and all of that. So the question is like, the media could have chosen any of those, right? So why did they choose only specific body types? Like my question is like, what influenced the media? If
Well,
since the media influenced also, what influenced the media's own choice?
I want to say something about that, if maybe
Money.
before Silvia. Yeah, big yeah, thank you. Because how could I forget that word? Is it beauty figure?
It's a queen.
Okay. No, no, like for example, like a type of lady that we look up to, like standard of beauty. There you go, standard of beauty. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. That's the word, standard of beauty. So, voila. So, beauty standard or the standard of beauty has changed a lot of our generations, and even currently till date, beauty standards are very different across different cultures and countries around the world. And if you go back to like in the enlightenment times, okay, the standard of beauty was for a woman to be chubby. Okay, so at that time, if you study very well, chubby women were the standard of beauty. So you had to be chubby for a man to consider you as beautiful in those days. Okay, and they had reasons for that. One of the reasons was it means that you eat well. It means that you feed well.
Well
It's a
taken
sign
care
of,
of your husband.
yeah, exactly. It's a sign of prosperity. When they see your wife, they say, okay, your wife is chubby. It means that your wife.
Mhm.
It was also at a time when there was also shortage of food. That was also like in the industrial revolution. So they were trying to make more food and stuff. So when they see someone who has enough food and can eat and be chubby, it means that okay, that is a standard of beauty. So at that time, men were going more for the chubby women. Then as we keep progressing, things keep changing. Like for example, in the USA, in the like, I don't know, is it 80s, 70s, like that. the standard of beauty were actually slim women, and I can't really tell you why it was slim women, but that's just how it was. And the USA has influenced a lot of other parts of the world a lot. So that influence has been generated in the USA about slim women being the standard, and has come across the world, even in Africa, because in Africa as well, the standard also used to be chubby women at some point in our African history. Okay, you had to be chubby to be considered beautiful, but now, when that slim movement came about from the US, it came to us. I don't really know what was their motive at that time. Okay, maybe they had already so much food that when you are sleeping, you can't. I don't know exactly. That's how it came. So, and it's changing again in 2023 right now. It's no more slim women. Like if you notice in the US, they are. If you look at magazine covers, magazine cover is a good example on how to measure that. In magazine covers, they are using less and less slim women in their covers, and they are using more and more chubby women in the magazine, like the popular magazines. And now there might be some other, how do we call those guys? Woke agendas to that. Like for example, right now, because nowadays anybody who doesn't like something can get up and revolt against it. So the chubby women are now angry at the fact that why are they only using slim women in magazine covers, and it now, because it puts a lot of pressure on the companies. So because they want to protect their image, they are now also switching to using chubby women on their magazine covers and to do advertisement and publicity. So right now it keeps changing as well, and we might not think that it could be also because right now, so especially in the US, there is a lot of like fast food and stuff, so it can affect that as well. But yeah, I would say standards of beauty, they keep changing across the world. Like you go to different countries, you'll be surprised at what they consider beautiful over there. I've seen some documentaries where long necks in some cultures are considered beautiful. So women have to be tying some things on their neck to make the neck longer. So they have like a spiral that every day they have to turn it an extra level. And as they keep turning it, that spiral, it makes their neck longer, because in that culture, a long neck is the standard of beauty. And then I know there was a time in China, small legs, small shoe size was the standard of beauty. So the Chinese women had to fit their legs in very tiny shoes, because the tiny shoes that are even sharp this way, that's what's the standard of beauty. I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, that's what I want to say about the topic. I just wanted to quickly point that. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. The standards of beauty. I guess because the question is like what really brings about the standards? Is it just something randomly chosen, or I mean, I guess maybe at this point we don't really know like what why those standards came about and not others. All right.
Yes. So sometimes it comes for financial reasons.
Okay.
Sometimes it comes because in a society there are maybe 70% of women are chubby. So the business owners know that they can sell more clothes and more stuff to them. So they are going to pick a chubby woman who represents 70% of the population to use on their magazine, because it's going to sell, it's going to make them money. It could also come from, as I said, back in the Enlightenment times. At the time, there was not enough food, so when they see you being chubby, they understand that okay, it means that you eat well, you live healthy, and that's why it's considered as beauty at that time. So for China, I cannot really know why they were liking small shoes, but I think it could come from different ways.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I guess as you said, money is definitely one of those. Is definitely a reason that why we tend to do many things. Okay, all right. So Sylvia, like I mean, you met your husband. Obviously, you're single when you met your husband. Also, could you share like how your attraction like towards him has varied like over time? Like your attraction towards each other. How has that varied over time? You know, from when you met up to now.
Towards each other, he will need to speak for himself. Let me speak for myself.
Okay.
um, I think that, like Adrian said, there are things which were influenced by environment, that 50% environment. So I can say that at the start, probably what influenced me most, or there were two things I could say that influenced me most. And one was my parents, where I grew up. My father, especially, I've had a very, very close relationship with my father, and he's been this kind of a role model, which he still is to me. So I guess going after or wanting a spouse, I was looking for someone who, in some way, represented or had certain characteristics that I found in my father. And that's one level of attraction. The second thing at the time was it was at a point where I was building a relationship with God, and that one too was very important. So those two things made me commit to him. Now, over the years, what has kept me attracted to him? His hardworking nature. We are friends. The fact that we are friends and we know that, and we learn every day, we choose to learn, we are intentional about staying married. When you're intentional about staying married, there are many things that you need to compromise, and the fact that we both do that together, we both communicate our needs and wants together, and we are able to outgrow throughout each phase of our lives, that keeps the attraction. Yes, he's hardworking nature, he's the provider, he's the one who takes care, just those things, yes. But more importantly, he's my friend. And finally, one thing that has made me more attracted to him over this past couple of months or maybe years was because I started seeking purpose and everything with respect to purpose and all around that. And I realized that he was someone, and he is somebody who can help drive that vision, drive that aspect of me. Like what he sees in me, I don't even see it in myself. And I know that he's one person that can push me to where I know or am destined to be. So that's another strong point of attraction. So it varies, yes, from the start, getting into the relationship, in the relationship, being my friend, being a great father, being a great husband, and then now with respect to purpose, the one who sees it with me, the one who joins me in it, the one who can listen to me and add his own point of view and then drive you towards that. I think that's important also to me, and I think that's what's important in life. And if I'm to give anybody an advice any day, anytime, I'm always going to say that, because we are all here for a purpose, we are all here for something, like it or not. We are not just beings that are meant to just sit on one place. So find what it is that you're called to do, be it in career, be it out of your career or anything, and find someone that can run that vision with you. And when you find that one, marriage and everything, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. Not that all smooth, no. There can be those rocks, ups and downs, but going through those ups and downs with someone who is standing by you and who says, I'm here for you, we're in this together, it's better and it's different. Yeah.
Wow, wow, that's really powerful. That's really powerful. Thank you very much for sharing that. Um, okay, so let's consider a scenario where a guy meets a lady and he expresses interest, right? And the lady doesn't find him attractive, right? And other than that, the guy is, he's a good guy character wise, Christian, hardworking, has a good job, all of that. So besides the physical attraction, like everything else checks out. and then this lady comes to you for advice, Sylvia, like how would you advise this lady?
I would ask her, what is your purpose in life? What do you want out of your life? What is it that you want? What is your relationship? Are you a Christian? What's your relationship with God? What do you think God wants from you? What is it you think you are called to do? Because when you have those answers about yourself, then you can be able to answer the aspect of relationship. The problem nowadays is because the problem we have nowadays is mainly because a lot of people don't know who they are. When you don't know who you are, that's why you go out and reject someone who kind of like, in quote and unquote, ticks all the boxes, but then you're not able to see it unless someone has shown you that this other person, or you're swearing that this other person like this is your spouse. But then it's important to know who you are as an individual, know who you are as a person. From there, you're going to be able to see and know that which or who is, or the kind of person that is important for you in this journey of life. Because it might be true, there might not be, the person who is interested in her might tick all the boxes, but I'm a believer of the fact that there's not just one kind of person that is meant for us. There are many kinds. So if she misses out on this one, another kind like that is going to come. So I would say, get to know yourself first. Get to know yourself. Get to know what you are called to do in life, where you are heading to. Have a plan. You might not see the big picture altogether, but at least have an idea and where you're driving to. From there, getting into relationships is not going to be difficult, because at that point you're going to know exactly what you want, so that when someone comes, it's going to be easy for you. Yes, he might not be attractive, quote and unquote, but it's always advisable to, like, let's just be friends and see how this thing goes. We don't cancel things on the first try. No, let's just be friends and see how it flows. And based on who you are, your perspectives, and everything as an individual, then you're going to be able to determine if it's worth getting into or don't waste your time. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So I guess the key point is really knowing yourself and knowing your purpose, and
Yeah.
that way you'll be able to find, someone who aligns better with that purpose.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So yeah. So are there things that like men generally find attractive in women? No, but what are your thoughts? Are there things that men generally find attractive in women, irrespective of, irrespective of like gender, race, and all of that? Are there things like physically that men generally find attractive in women? If so, what are they?
It's difficult to answer that question unless maybe somebody has made a survey and I surveyed men and asked them to tick some boxes. Then I'll be happy to look at that survey to know what answers are coming up a lot, because you talk to different men and you realize that they really like different things. How can I put it? Like, I mean, some men will tell you exactly that they want, a lady with, I don't know if those words are appropriate on this channel, but meanwhile, on the other side, another man will tell you that no, he doesn't want too much big stuff, he wants just small. I'm trying to speak in a very normal way. You see, it varies. Like, a lot of men will tell you that they really want different things. Now, I can't really know exactly what is predominant, because if I could tell you what was predominant, that means that if we are to look at all the married couples out there, we are going to be saying that all the wives will look alike, or will look exactly like that type of woman that I'll be describing, which I'm unable to describe because men are really liking different characteristics of women. So like, yeah, so it's really hard to tell. So if a woman is really like bothering herself, or I don't have enough of this, I don't have enough of that, and she thinks that if she had enough of this thing, she would have found the man she's looking for, then she's it's not true. Then I will really invite her to do what Sylvia said, which is questioning yourself about your purpose. Because um, when you really know exactly who you are, you know, I wrote this in my Facebook one day. I said, when you know exactly who you are, you never ever wish to be someone else. Like you never wish that you had a different type of shape, because you will know that there is a man who loves you exactly like you are, like this. Like you are trying to change something, but there is a man out there, he's looking for a woman who looks exactly like you. So whatever you're bothering yourself because no. That's not, I don't personally, I don't think it's true. I think
Okay.
I think men really different men really like different women. So
Okay. So looking at that, what we can also see as a fact, like from what is happening is that there are certain men there are certain women who are more desirable, who are seen as more desirable generally, while others are not, and also there are certain men seen as more desirable, while others are not. Why do you think that's the case? Why are those people seen as more desirable than others?
yeah, I would say it's cultural. Okay, I would say it's cultural. Like let me give you an example of the culture that I'm talking about. You go maybe to an African country like Cameroon,
Okay.
and maybe you take a woman who is considered beautiful in Cameroon. You bring her to a Russian who lives in Russia, born in Russia, who lives in Russia, and he's of course very, very white. And you put that woman alongside another woman who is considered beautiful in Russia. He will never pick the Cameroonian woman. He will never pick the Cameroonian woman. And why is that? I'll say it has to be cultural, because that's not what he was born to see as desirable, and it has nothing to do with if racism, nothing to do with that. It's just a preference. He just prefers the women that he has. It's just like when a black person prefers the black lady. It's not racism. It's not racism against the white lady. It just means that he prefers the black lady because that's what he's used to. He grew up knowing that this is what I like. So I would say it's cultural, it's also societal, in the sense that, not okay, let's not be crossing over countries this time around. Let's take an example still in Cameroon. Okay, you go to a village in Cameroon, in the west region of Cameroon, and you pick a girl in the west region of Cameroon, a village over there, that's considered, desirable for marriage, or for. Then you also go in the city and you pick a lady in the city like Yaoundé, the center city, and pick a woman has considered, I don't know, desirable in Yaoundé. If you compare them, like they will not look the same. And the guy in the village, we prefer his lady that you had picked from the village. He'll prefer her because when he is looking for different things. He's looking for different things. And he will find those things in the lady that you picked, where his immediate environment, society was. So yeah, so I'll say usually when we do those observations, is because our sample is not very diverse. If we consider a very, very diverse sample, we are going to see that the results are going to be undecisive. But when the sample is not very diverse, in the sense that you go and pick Americans and you only pick a certain kind of American people, of course the answers are going to be looking similar. And you make you think that, okay, since the answers are similar, maybe this is the conclusion, that this is the type of woman that most men are liking. But no, it's just the type of woman that your sample is liking, but you will realize that your sample, your sample is not diverse. Your sample is very specific. So yeah, of course, in some small cultures, there is a kind of woman of yeah, I think so, yeah, that most men are going to like. Um, but when you make it diverse, you realize that it really varies a lot, and you cannot really make a definitive conclusion.
Okay, wow, interesting thoughts. All right. By the way, for our viewers, please, please don't forget to like as you're watching. Please do like and also share the stream, with your family and friends, so that people can benefit from, the deep, deep lessons that we are learning here. All right. So Sylvia, I mean, we often hear women generally say, that in terms of like what like their preferences, they'll say they want a guy who is tall, dark, and handsome. So my question is like, why do women prefer that? Why do women prefer guys who are tall, like that very stereotype? Why do women prefer that? What are your thoughts on that? No, you're muted. Yes.
The network was a bit shaky. I didn't get everything you said before your
Oh,
question. So
sorry.
if you could just, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what I was saying was that generally the average lady, okay, when asked what she likes in a man, she will say she likes a man who is tall, dark, and handsome. Okay. So yeah. So my question is like, why is my question is where is that coming from? Where is that preference coming from?
I
Like,
don't know. I honestly do not know where that preference comes from. In all honesty, but like Adrian has been saying the things about a lot of environment, culture, nowadays what the media says, who they put on People magazine as most handsome of the year, six pack, all those kind of things. It's your environment, your culture, your environment, the things you see around, who has been put in front of you as a spouse kind of person. Yeah. So I really don't know. I think it's just environment based, society based, culture based, all those kind, not necessarily culture kind of thing, but where you grew up, your friends, those around you, your friends, maybe your parents, those who influence you in one way or another have always made it feel like is this trinity of tall, dark, and handsome. But I really don't know where that thing is coming from. It doesn't really matter. I don't think so.
okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that. Okay. We spoke about natural beauty like
Yeah,
earlier, and
yeah.
so with respect to natural beauty, makeup, and cosmetics, do you think it's necessary for people to use those? I mean, it's mostly women, who are into
Mhm.
cosmetics and stuff, but then men are starting to get into that as well. So, like,
Yeah.
should we be using beauty products? Like, and also, if we use cosmetics, is it still natural beauty? Like, what are your thoughts on that, Sylvia?
Of course, to me, there's absolutely no problem using cosmetics and beauty products and everything. Like you also asked the question at the beginning, or you said made a statement that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So whosoever is wanting to chase a woman who is using cosmetics and all whatnot, that one is between you and the person you're chasing. But from a personal point of view, I don't find anything wrong with using cosmetic products and beauty products and all those kinds of things. Natural, and it all comes again to like what do you say is natural? They're just, it's not like it's taking away your beauty, it's all about enhancing. Maybe for some people not too much, for others a little bit less, but then I believe that it's always good to it's important to look good. Looking good is good business, as they say. So it's not a bad thing, but that should not really make you to define or make a generalization about who a person is because she uses beauty products or not. And I think that's a little bit of the tendency nowadays, that people tend to judge women because of the beauty products they use or this or that. It should generally not be the case. We are beyond the makeup and the foundation and the hair and whatever we have. And same too for women. Do not only think that beauty ends at the makeup that you wear or the eyelashes or the weave. In as much as you enhance the physical beauty and everything, let us also work on our inner beauty, because at the end of the day, who we are inside always reflects what is on the outside. Yes. So it's not a bad thing for beauty products. It's not bad. Some people might tend to use more, some people might tend to use less, and that's just based on individuals. People know why they do those things. You can see a lady that probably has an accident or something, and she feels better when she covers up all of that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you can as well see another lady who chooses not to wear makeup, and there's also absolutely nothing wrong with that. So it's just based on the individuals, but then we shouldn't make a generalization about a woman based on what we see as natural beauty. And for women, I'll say, let us not only focus on making the outer side beautiful, but work on inner beauty to yourself, your inner self. Yes.
Wow, wow, wow. Indeed, indeed. That's so powerful. Okay, so Adrian, so we know that there are three main types of love, like according to the Bible. There's agape, which is the unconditional love of God. There's filial, which is friendship love, and then there's eros, which is the romantic love, erotic kind of love. And the reason why we are here today, the reason why we procreate. So yeah, so my question to you is like what do you think eros love is based on? What is that kind of love based on?
Yeah, it has to be physical attraction. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Physical attraction. That's a very short and straightforward answer. Okay, interesting.
Just need a simple answer. Yeah, Eros definitely has to be based on physical attraction. Now, if you are asking me if Eros is a sustainable love or kind of love, I would say absolutely not. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So if the eros love is based on attraction, right? If it is based on attraction and it is a necessary component of a marriage, do you think it's something that we can do you think it's something that we should like we can let we can like go into a marriage? Do you think it's something that we shouldn't try to have as part of the package? What do you think about that?
It's a nice to have. That's what I'll say. I'll say it's a nice to have. But that it's just that, not more than that. It's a nice to have, of course. But life happens. Things can change. So what do you do then? Nobody wishes that. But when you do your marriage vows, you always say, for better or for worse, till death do us part. So what is the worst now? Well, I don't really. Nobody ever wishes that. It's like when you get health insurance. You get health insurance, but you wish to never have to use it. Okay, because nobody wants to be sick, but you get the health insurance just in case. So it's like, okay, nobody wants the worst to happen, but are you prepared for the worst? What if it happens? Or not even worse, let's just say something not good, because worse is maybe too far-fetched. Let's just say not like, okay, what will you do at that time? Do you mean the marriage would crumble? Or do you mean, okay, I'm asking you the question back. What do you think somebody should do at that time? At a time when things have changed, and now that things have changed, what should happen at that time? Should marriage crumble?
Okay, that's a very good question. Interesting. Okay, so as you mentioned that Eros is a good to have. I think it's nice to have that whole package. Okay, like as you said, because it is not just Eros alone will not sustain it. I think the mistake that people tend to make is that they prioritize Eros over the other things, over character and the spiritual aspect. But I think it is important. The attraction is important, but then it shouldn't be at the top of the list. But then at the same time, you shouldn't. I think it's necessary to have all the three. I think it's necessary to have all the three in order to have that to have that fulfilling marriage, so to speak. I think it's good to go for the three. If you're not able to have the three, I think it's better to like find that person that with whom you have all the three. That's what I think.
Okay, I have something to say with respect
Okay.
to that. Okay, now, okay, here's something. I think that both parties of the relationship should work hard to make the relationship work. Okay, I think work hard has to do with try to like I like to see my wife doing facials. Okay, I like that. So if she stops, I'll remind her to do it. Okay, so to me that's part of her doing her part. Like all parties should do her part. Like should do their part, should work hard as much as they can, should do their best. So nobody should just relax and say, okay, no, I'm married, so it's okay. I can just relax and do whatever. No, I know. I don't think that partners in the relationship should be doing that. I think you should eat healthy. You should do your best to maintain a balanced diet. You should do your best. If you used to be doing your skincare routine when you were single, to keep doing that. If you used to maintain your hair, to keep doing that. To do to take care of yourself. To shower and do other things. I think it's important for both parties to actually work. I use the term work hard because you need to actually intentionally do it. Okay, I think it's important to intentionally do it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not. What I said before was not a statement for people to just not care or to live carelessly in their marriage. Because if they do it, if they are careless, then I don't know, it's not good. So when I was talking, it was for situations that are out of your control, not things that were in your control. That okay, no, I could have eaten healthy and avoided this situation. No, not those type of things. Things outside of your control, things that can happen outside of your control. So let's say you were at a time when you had a whole package. Okay, you had a face that had no dimple, and stuff. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these are real things that is good to be prepared for that when you get into marriage.
Yeah.
You should need to fight that. So you should already have that mindset that if this faith that has no dimples, even if dimples come, I'm staying. That's pretty much just what I'm saying. And for you to be able to say, even if the dimples come, I'm staying, is because you had chosen somebody who had a lot of the other attributes that are not physical. Those attributes were just so big that okay, they can almost, but not like, I would say almost overshadow in case in case pimples come. So that's just pretty much what I'm saying. So it's, yeah, of course. That's why I put it in the category of nice to have, not something that you should intentionally be. Because okay, you asked a question to Silvia earlier. You were like, okay, a lady, she meets a guy who ticks all the boxes, but it's not tall, black, and handsome, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
To me, like honestly, to me that lady will first need therapy. First need therapy. First, therapy is not a bad thing. Just as Silvia said, to ask yourself like, who are you? Your purpose. What do you really want in life? What are your priorities? After you go through all of that, then okay, you can now make your informed decision. Yeah, but to me, a lady, when I inform my lady, say, but yeah, that's just what I'll say for now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's really important indeed. Yeah. So when you, it's nice to have the three, but then indeed it's not really at the top of the list. And then, as you said, over time, what really matters then is the connection, the friendship, right? The friendship and the character. That is what, as you said, is going to like keep the bond, as time goes, even when, because obviously the beauty is going to fade over time, and things can happen. So it's really that friendship, right? It's really that friendship that matters. Okay, so Sylvia, like based on the topic, any like final words, like a take home lesson, like what take home lesson would you give to our viewers?
Strike a balance. Like it's just the summer, just to add on to the one you guys were just talking about, like as Adrian said, like the both parties working hard. And I think it's about striking a balance. Just have a balance for this one and that one and the other one, just everything. Physical attraction, yes, let's strive to keep that alive, because physical attraction may have brought us together. It will not sustain us, but then it is important every now and then to always try to satisfy each other. And in trying to satisfy each other, you see that those aspects of physical attraction always come up, because you can see a man who may kind of neglect his wife, or they'll say he doesn't come home or this, and you hear him saying the wife tends to neglect herself, all that kind of thing. Adrian says that when his wife forgets to go for facials, he reminds her, all that kind of thing. So it's both of us working hand in hand, like, how do I keep on being attractive physically and in all the other aspects for my spouse, for us to have a thriving relationship. That's it to me.
Wow. See, that's a very powerful take-home message. And how about you? How about you, Adrian? Like, what would you say to our viewers? What's your take-home message to our viewers?
Yeah. So yeah, what I can just say to conclude is it's important to do your homework, which has to do with learning more about yourself. That is, if you are single. I guess if you're married too, learning a lot about yourself, learning a lot about what you really want, and trying to define your priorities, like to get your priorities straight, and to not even be afraid to write those things down. If there's some things you want, you can write them down. That way, you can be reminded that okay, this is my goal, or these are my priorities, or maybe this is what I want, or this is who I am. By writing it down, you can be reminded. And I think when you are a healthy person and you meet another healthy person, I think the relationship can thrive. So that's what I can say.
Wow. Interesting. Wow. Thank you all for sharing those deep lessons. Indeed, and that brings us to the end of our enriching discussion. I mean, we could definitely continue for hours, but we have to stop here for the sake of time. So thank you all for joining, and thanks also to our viewers, who joined us, and we hope you were enriched through this. And as usual, please share this with your family and friends. Thank you again once more to Silvia and Nobel for your time. So we've left their social media handles in the description. Okay, so please do follow them so that you can learn more from them. All right, and yeah, that was it. That was it for us. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next one.